Hey everyone, today's Lootcrate video will be a bit different than the last ones. I'll have a Q&A portion attached to the video after I showcase the Lootcrate unboxing, so stick around if you're interested in that. Alrighty then, it's time for another Lootcrate unboxing video. This month's theme is Heroes, which is pretty cool considering next month is Villains, so you have this sort of two-box theme set going on right now. And with a name like Heroes, you can assume it's something either superhero-like or everyday kind of hero thing. You could have from Power Rangers to Transformers to DC heroes to Marvel heroes. So I'm excited. As you know, my family loves superheroes of all forms. My wife likes the old the Saturday morning heroes like Power Rangers and Transformers. I like DC and Marvel. My brother likes DC and Marvel, so does my little sister. So whatever's in this box will likely be appreciated by at least someone. And of course, as you know, I like anything that is useful. Utilitarian, I mean. Like if it's a phone case cover, that'd be great, especially considering my wife wants me to buy one for the longest time. If it's another mouse pad, I'd be able to use it. I've been using the other one, as you can see right there. If it's decoration, my brother would go all nuts over there. You can see over there, I got the Terminator box. I just kept it for myself because I like Terminator more than he does. So we'll see what's in this in the box. And I'm hoping, again, utilitarian, superhero related, more comic book hero rather than old school kind of hero like Transformers. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Alrighty then, let's get to the actual unboxing. So let's see. Oh, there seems to be a box already. There's going to be decoration of some sort. I'm going to grab the box first because it's the biggest thing in there. And I've never actually seen, my brother collects these, I don't know actually what they're called, they're big gigantic ass head little models. And this one's like an old school kind of Adam West Batman. I personally, so again, the box things, I only will keep the ones that I like Terminator, RoboCop, that kind of stuff. This one's definitely going to my brother. He'll love this. I think I already showed you guys in the last video his massive, gigantic-ass wall full of figurines. So, well, this one itself is not that unique to, valuable to me. It will be to my brother. Especially because he likes that whole ironic, loving the 60s, 70s kind of old shows kind of thing. Like, he collects all the classic Superman dolls. What's his name? I forgot the guy, the one who ended up eating fetuses on South Park. I forgot his name. Whatever, he likes that kind of stuff. Even though he never actually watched the things, he likes it in a sort of ironic setting, which is probably why he liked Batman Brave and the Bold. Let's see what is here, this long one. Oh, it's going to be a poster, no doubt. Yeah, it's a poster, and nothing else is in it. Let's see, what's in this poster? It's Wonder Woman, sort of like, what's her name? Something the Riveter, that we can do it and she can do it, obviously, although a little bit less feminist than that. My wife likes Wonder Woman, obviously, so she's gonna love this, though my brother would probably also love posters since he kept the other posters I gave him. So either this goes to my brother or this goes to my wife, depending if she actually wants the thing. Here, wife, I'm trying to hand it over to you. Off screen, obviously. And then this is a cardboard tube, which you can use to, I don't know, cardboard tube stuff. This is okay. There's something that feels warm and fuzzy. Oh, okay. This one, I myself don't wear this kind of stuff, but it's a Zelda wristband and this is actually cloth. So considering my wife wanted wristbands for some reason when we went to Target, and they were $8, this thing already has quite a bit of value into it. For starters, it's Zelda, so you actually if you like Zelda stuff, this is actually really good. And it's a wristband for whatever reasons you want to use an actual wristband. And another thing that my little sister might actually want this more. Her favorite game series is, well, it's Pokemon, but also Zelda. If next time I go to my family's house, I'll take pictures of her wall next time, and you can see all the Zelda posters he has, all the video games lined up on the wall, and all that sorts of stuff. So yeah, she loves herself some Zelda. And right now she's going through that awkward teenager phase where they put all these things on their wrists and these the gaudy stuff on their backpack. So she'll actually enjoy this. This is actually probably so far the best thing in there. for also having monetary value, and for my sister at least, some sort of sentimental value. Zelda was just the first video game she beat. I think the first Zelda game she actually beat was not A Link to the Past. That was the second. We got her the DS version, I believe. She beat Ocarina of Time. She loves that game. And this feels like a book, obviously. I can feel the binder and the things. And Regrettable Superheroes. League of Regrettable Superheroes. I'm like, I've never actually heard of this. It's made by John Morris. You know, so let's see. I'm gonna read the back of it so it can make sense to you guys. You know about Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man, but have you heard of Doll Man, Doctor Hormones, or Spider Queen? In League of Regrettable Superheroes, you'll meet 50 of the strangest superheroes to ever see print, complete with backstories, vintage art, and colorful commentary. So prepare yourself for a not so ready for primetime heroes as B-Man, Batman but with bees, the Eye, a giant floating eyeball, just accepted in parentheses, and many other oddballs and oddities, drawing on the entire history of the medium. The League of Regrettable Superheroes will appeal to die-hard comic fans, casual comic readers, and anyone who enjoys peering into stranger corners of pop culture. So I'm going to just flat out say is, this is actually something that's going to be fun for me to read, because one of my favorite things to do is occasionally go on Wikipedia and just read biographies of superheroes. And my brother and I had the entire encyclopedia of DC Comics and Marvel Comics, a big, fat, gigantic encyclopedia, and we sometimes read the funny heroes, but I think they omitted a lot of them because they were ashamed of them. So this kind of stuff is just funny, and even when I finish it, I could hand it to my brother and he'll love it. It's like, even if you're just gonna read it as bathroom material, it seems like something that's just gonna be fucking fun. See, I'm gonna open it to something as a random. Well, Hollow Man, the amazing adventures of Hollow Man with his power of... Actually, where is it? Does it tell you my powers now? We're gonna actually have to read it together, but it has little comic, strips of comics where they actually appeared. More like 2001, Phoenix the Protector. So yeah, this one actually replaces, at least for me, the Valley of the Zelda wristband. I'll probably enjoy that little booklet more than I will the Zelda thing. This, oh, I thought it was gonna be the little, the little clip-on thing. No, it's something else. It's another keychain. As you know, I like having keychains on my keys, where you can see them all my keys and all that crap. So it's a little Batarang keychain, which I could also use as a weapon, sort of like that Terminator one I got last month. And this is actually a lot heavier and sharper, so I can gouge people's eyes. So this is just gimmicky, but I actually like that kind of stuff. I'm sort of into those little tiny trinkets, and it seems to be made out of good material. Okay, this feels like, actually I thought it was going to be stickers, but... Oh, it's an air freshener. This would actually help if I had a car, so... No, it's an air freshener. It's, what's it called? Spock's Race, the Vulcan, the little hand thingy. If you can actually do it, go for it. Like, I can just do it basically at free will. So, go for it. I forgot what it's called. I think it's their hello signal or some shit. Let's see, these obviously feel like booklets, so... wait, is that Duro 10? Brawlhalla? No, wait, it looks like Duro 10, but it's obviously not Duro 10, so I don't even know what it is. Okay. Ganar? And then obviously it's just a rundown of what we got today. So is there anything else in there? Oh, well, the pinup of the month. Like, you know, every month you get one of these little tiny thingies. So to remember the month by on whatever you're trying to do. And unfortunately there's no shirt, but there is, like, again, the little wristband attire thing. I'll probably give this to my wife or to my sister, depending on who ends up liking it more. And to myself, this is probably going to be what I'll be reading in the bathroom or reading on just while I wait for League of Legends to start or something. So I actually like this box. The one prior to that was a lot better, but this one is just as good. I mean, like, the last one, the one with the Terminator stuff, is going to be really hard to top, because you got a shirt that I wanted for my wife, and she's been wearing it non-stop. Of course, after washing it, don't get back ribs. So, yeah, if the other one was an S, this one's an A. And I'm very hopeful for the villains one, because honestly, I like that kind of thematics, and villains tend to be a lot more fun to look at. So maybe even be a regrettable villains, and that would just be fun to have that kind of set. And just for the blocks, you can see that it's you can see the Joker and Harley Quinn in the corner. I don't even know who that is. You can see Anarchy and whatever. It's basically a take on, you know, watching the superheroes in the sky. Go Batman, or Batman in this case. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the unboxing portion of the video, and stick around for the Q&A right after. One of the most common questions that is asked is, how did I become a YouTuber? And I've made a video about it before, but that was like 2 or 3 years ago, so I might as well go over it again for the people who haven't had the chance to see that video. Basically, I needed a new game to play because World of Warcraft, the subscription was costing too much money for a broke-ass college student, so my friend introduced me to League of Legends. We played, we had fun, I played mid lane, I played dual bruiser lane, how it was back then. And then I wanted to try Warwick because he looked cool. And the only Warwick guy there was is that you use him in the jungle using Rally and Smite. It worked, but he was bug as hell, so I tried using more champions to jungle, or forcing junglers forcing champions to be able to jungle. And I kept doing that. I made Shen jungle, which was really fun. I spoke on GameFAQs about it, and people kept asking questions. Stonewall, what are your runes and masteries? What are your runes and masteries? What did you do? Where do you start? All that other stuff. So I got actually really tired of having to say the same thing, because GameFAQs didn't have a way to sticky things, and it would archive things so quickly. So I decided to make a video about Shen jungle and Olaf jungle and everything, just showing their clear path. And people were saying, oh, you know, have you tried this? And I tried it, things improved, whatever. It was just this little gradual improvement over time. And they asked me, Stonewall, can you try making the jungle... Jungle Annie, Jungle Anivia, and Jungle everything. So I just kept forcing them, and I discovered things along the way, and I just built this gigantic catalog of jungle videos. Now, one of the things, as you know from one of my Lootcrate videos, is that I grew up very poor, so I never really had a lot of money. I got accepted into quite a bit of colleges, but there was no way I could pay for them. So I went to community college instead, so I wouldn't have to pay as much. Even then, when I was there, well, my funds weren't always at a comfortable level. I did live with my family, but I hated not being able to help the parents with groceries or anything, and while at the same time going to school. So it was actually Elements who told me, hey, you know, you should consider getting a YouTube partnership. And Colby Cheese hooked me up with Viso Gaming, and I actually started getting paid for YouTube. And it turned out to be something actually very fun to do. And then college, after a while, it just became something I didn't want to really do, instead preferring trade school. So I stopped community college, tried looking for some trade school, and made YouTube videos, and that's just kind of how I got into it. It sort of just fell. I sort of just fell into it out of pure laziness to keep writing the same thing over, to then having fun with being innovative and whatnot. Another question is if I have another job outside of YouTube, and no, I sometimes have to contemplate getting it because YouTube earnings can go from okay to complete crap. The whole idea that most YouTubers get paid really well is a myth. It's only the very, very few number of fortunate YouTubers who can also subvert the tax system, but we'll go into that some other time. So no, I don't have any other job other than YouTube, but I've had other jobs other than YouTube. Mostly in Mexico, where, you know, labor laws don't exactly exist, so you tend to work in the dumbest of places. When I was 13, I worked at a liquor store. I was actually behind the counter selling liquor to people. No, you didn't need a license. I mean, you technically did, but, you know, it's Mexico again. You know, you say you could see 10-year-old kids driving. No one gives a fuck, and that was actually a huge problem. But I worked behind the counter of a liquor store and also in a chicken frying restaurant. Yeah, that sounds kind of sad, I know. So I had to deal with drunks. I had to deal with people coming in, browsing, not buying. Sometimes the occasional person trying to shoplift. It was all annoying. I mean, like, it was the most boring time ever. We protested it enough with my father that he eventually allowed us to bring a TV into the store, so we can just play video games while we were chilling out there. I'm like, Dad, we're 13 years old. This is boring as hell. You expect us to stay here and not get really angsty? Usually I would read a book, write stuff or something if the TV wasn't there or it didn't work. But yeah, most of the time I just stood there and played Soul Calibur because that was the only game I had. A recent question that gets asked a lot and was asked when I asked for, questions for this video, it was is my favorite anime ever since I started talking about anime on Facebook. And I don't watch too many anime. I have a very low patience for some of the tropes they just shove into every single anime. But there are some that I think are well done, or at least play on those tropes in a good way that make it very enjoyable. My favorite anime right now is obviously one of the most common popular animes. It's Fullmetal Alchemist because it's honestly really goddamn good. And on the other top three, the top two, I mean, one of them is pure vanity because I grew up in Mexico and everywhere else, Mexico watching it, and it was enjoyable and the music was awesome, and it kind of had it had a very shallow characters at times, but they tried building these characters based on mythology and everything. It was Saint Seiya. I still am watching it on the new series that comes out, except Omega, because that one's a travesty. And the other is a more recent one, it's Tiger and Bunny. Just because the characters, or at least the main characters, are really enjoyable. And it honestly felt cool having a main character that was an adult for once, rather than a teenager or whatever. And so it used some of those tropes, but it built the tropes up in a understandable way, right? It was very good at building very human characters. So that's my top three: Fullmetal Alchemist, Saint Seiya is just kind of vanity, but it's up there just because it's nostalgia and they kind of preserve that for the most part. And said Tiger and Bunny. Then there's other ones like said like Death Note, Kill la Kill, and everything, but they're like in a weird mess from the top 10. So I haven't ever really ordered them. Sword Art Online sucks so badly though, so that's a whole nother rant for another time. The question of who's my favorite champions comes up a lot, and most fans know who my number one champion is. He's kind of like on every single thing on my Facebook, my Twitter, my stream. It's Jarvan. He's my de facto favorite champion because he sort of embodies what you wanted on a jungler or a champion. Prior to him coming out, there was no champion that had this kind of AoE initiation, let's force a fight on basic abilities. Every other champion either had an AoE initiation on their ultimate or as a follow-up. Like a Mumu's ultimate is not exactly an initiation, it's a follow-up. So you gotta either flash ult or Q ult, and hopefully, it goes well. Malphite's the only other one that just click a button and smash him. When Jarvan came out, you had someone who can keep doing that, who can force fights, who can be the man of action. And that's why I love him. It's like he still has that, and not many champions actually can still just initiate full-blown fights with just their basic abilities. So yeah, that's why he's my favorite. And then the other ones sort of trickle into a lot of things. Zac, for kind of a similar thing as to Jarvan, but Zac is just more fluid and like just has a lot of health. I kind of like having that really fat champion that punishes you for trying to kill him, but kind of hurts if you don't actually kill him. So I like that, and he's very efficient in the jungle, very jack of all trades, so he can fill a lot of niches. Maokai is another one of my top ones because he's just really fucking strong and really cool. Trundle's all sorts of badass because he's so easy to just screw over people who are not paying attention or anything like that. Darius and Garen, I love them too. Even Teemo in a bit. Nunu's like this love-hatred of mine. Nasus is one of my top favorite champions just because he's so thematic and badass. And even though I don't play him, Azir is just ranked up amongst there too for that same reason. He's just so like epic feeling. Like his voice, hell, even his login gave this embodiment of badassery, right? So if I had to name my top 3 champions, it's definitely Jarvan. Obviously, it's going to be Jarvan. Then likely going to be Zac. And then the third one is like a battle between Darius and Trundle. Just they're really like just
just badass of badasses. I know I'm kind of sad that Darius is gonna get a rework, and we don't actually know what they're gonna do with him. So it's just like, let's hope for it. Tryndamere is actually one of my top ones too, but he's near the top 10. I have almost every single skin for my top 10 champions. That's kind of sad. I have every Tryndamere skin. I have every Jarvan skin. I think I have every Garen skin, though that's kind of across 2 accounts. And I know I have every Nasus skin except the legendary, because I wasn't really that impressed with it. So yeah, that's my favorite champions. Now for one of the more common questions. It wasn't asked in the Q&A thingy for Facebook that I made, but it was asked. It is asked constantly on YouTube. It says to, where the hell did I come up with the name, or specifically the 008 part? Now, I've actually mentioned this a long time ago, and I never really brought it back. The whole Stonewall name came from Mexico, where people would just pick fights with each other, not violently, just, wrestling and all that other kind of crap. It's just rowdy teenagers, right? So when people decided to wrestle with me or do whatever, they never could knock me down. As you've already seen, I'm a giant guy, but I'm also a heavy set. So it's like, it's not going to happen. Though back then in Mexico, I was actually a lot more muscly than I am now, so it was even more Juggernaut-esque. They tried knocking me down, running at me, trying to push at me or whatever, and it never happened. And they would say in Spanish, it's like fucking punching a rock. Una piedra. It's like trying to hit a rock wall. And it's sort of just, in the translation, it was stone. And it's like hitting a wall, so stone wall. I put it together, and like, I didn't actually come up with it like then and there to use it, but back when I was playing, back when I was playing Halo 2 online, I tried putting a name, just Hero, that's it, and then it was obviously taken. So I decided just to put Stonewall for the Xbox Live IGN, and it went by. I was like, yeah, that's great for us. Then my cousin and my brother and everybody wanted to form, I forgot what they were called on those things. I forgot what they're called online. Not exactly guilds, but clan? Yeah, clan. And they decided to name themselves Clan Team Snuggins. And thus I name changed my name from Stonewall to TS Stonewall. But like back then, I didn't realize that carried some really bad connotations. Really bad connotations. So you can't blame me for that. And when I didn't want to have that name anymore, it turned out that the regular Stonewall was taken away. Then I started playing with some other people, and they all had 008 at the end. And they asked me, hey, you should join our clan too. And since, you're young and you want to play with people, you want to fit in, I decided to rename myself to Stonewall 008, because I guess it was the area code of one of them. This is... The 008 actually carries no actual meaning whatsoever to me or whatnot. When I decided to make my YouTube, I couldn't use Stonewall because it was taken, so I just tacked on the 008 just like I had on my Xbox Live IGN. So that's where that name comes from. The Stonewall actually comes from people saying it was like punching a stone wall in Spanish, in 2 different kind of separations of the word. And the 008 comes from pretty much a meaningless area code of some random other person. So that's where the name originates. Huzzah!